All right, guys, so we're short. First things first, we entered at resistance with a pivot stop out and our large triggers very strong down, expecting the market to make it down close to our Fibonacci support down there around 22.27, give or take, 26.50, 26. And we're looking at our strong triggers on both large chart and small chart. And again, we had a little divergence on the small chart. We talk about this a lot in our videos and talking about when you don't have to really worry too much about divergence. And you can see everything is really strong. There's absolutely nothing in the way, which is the best possible scenario for us. Now look, we're up $250 a contract. You should probably have, what we teach you in the plan is to take one contract off. Between $200 and $300 is usually the spot where they'll start bouncing again. So if you take one contract off and take a little bit of profit, it'll make sure that no matter what happens, so you can set your order entry platform for one contract, and you can just hit buy market, and it'll actually take you out of a position. Again, and you don't really want to risk too much money. Sometimes people hang on for the whole thing on both contracts. When you're new, look, I hit market, buy one, so that took me out of one of my contracts around $250 profit. Now I've got a break even plus, and it's going to give me a couple of options. Number one, if it keeps going all the way down to the fib, fantastic. We made more than half of our goal on half of the contracts. And the other thing that it will afford us to do, if we do have the proper conditions and we get a pullback, we can always take another entry. So generally when the two triggers are running together on the 5-1 chart, and you see what I'm talking about when I say they're running together, traditionally this is the time where you can use the mid band, which is the pink line coming down, as a visual reference. I mean, obviously if you have Fibonacci or something you can do that, but traditionally when both of the triggers are running together on the 5-1 chart in combination with strong small triggers on the 14-2 chart, the mid band is going to offer some resistance. When the two triggers on the 5-1 chart are not necessarily together, then the mid band doesn't work as well. So if we get back up to the mid band, I'll hit a sell market. There we go, sell market. So I'll enter that second contract, or the first contract that we took off. We're going to enter it again. Get to order and hit submit. So you can see what we did. We basically just sold the mid band. You could do that with a limit order too. I did it with a market order. And because our two triggers on the 5-1 chart are trending together, that mid band should offer us one more bounce to the downside. If not, there's not a lot of risk. We want it to kind of go down from right here. The other thing too is you can see we've got the one-to-ones on our large chart and our large triggers helping us with that thought process at the mid band. And then ultimately, if we get a down bar here, what we're going to do is we'll reduce our risk behind a new pivot, just like that. So essentially, we were able to make money, get back into that same contract on a retracement, and then, now you can see our smaller charts turning green, which, again, it doesn't mean it's not going to go down, but when you reach the prior low, like right here, look, we can take that add-on contract off. So essentially, we made an extra 4.25 points in there, an extra $212, just kind of playing the bounce a little bit. It actually made a little more than that because we got out on the low, sold the high, and now we're getting really close to our target, and hopefully. Obviously, we don't want to risk too much more money here. And we don't want to risk too much to make 2 or 3 more ticks. And, oh shoot, hit our target. No fill. If it hits your target and no fill, man, shoot. Get out. Just get out. Because there's nothing worse than when the market goes all the way back up after it hits your target and no fill and you didn't take your money. I'll show you what the chart looks like after that happened. And you can see here's the exit, and I took a picture of what happened afterwards. So anytime you get your triggers close to each other on the 14-2 chart, you get within a tick or two of your Fibonacci target, especially if you hit it and don't get a fill, just take the money because you don't want to look back later and see that you've given away all of your hard-earned profits. So a really nice example of a high probability trend trade with Nexgen.